America's presidential election on November 5th stands out because of America's size, global presence, and the two likely presidential candidates and how each might engage with the world. While Europeans might view the U.S. presidential candidates through a transatlantic prism, Americans are not thinking about support for NATO when they cast ballots. Foreign policy historically plays a minor role in how Americans vote. So what does matter? According to a recent Gallup poll, more than 50% of Americans are worried about inflation, crime and violence, hunger and homelessness, the economy generally, healthcare affordability, and the country's growing national debt. Members of the American Legislative Exchange Council, conservative state lawmakers from all 50 states, share these concerns and have tried to provide solutions to our country's problems. They have worked toward tackling America's unsustainable national debt by proposing a balanced budget amendment to the U.S. Constitution, championed criminal justice reform to enable law enforcement to focus on violent offenders, and tried to stem America's fentanyl overdose epidemic. Fentanyl originates in China and comes here through legitimate ports of entry as well as through our porous border. Our members have also advanced ideas that would keep health care more affordable, and recently more than 350 state legislators signed a letter to keep federal tax cuts enacted during the previous administration because inflation is making it difficult for many Americans to meet their basic needs. When Americans are asked unprompted about the most important challenges facing the nation, they cite immigration as number one and failure of government second. Both are top of mind for our members who have traveled to our southern border with Mexico and called on the current administration to secure the frontier and deal with the migration crisis. The government's failure on border security adds to worries about crime, terrorism, and who we are as a nation. And while the federal government's inability to do its job is a problem, that the federal government has taken on roles and responsibilities that overstep its constitutional authority creates tension also. This sentiment is summed up in a sign I saw in a building in Wyoming during a summer road trip. As regulations grow, freedoms die. Another feature of 2024 is an unusually large field of third-party candidates. Many Americans are disappointed in the Biden v. Trump rematch, and one man running for president actually legally changed his name to literally anybody else to underscore this feeling. At first, it was thought that the leading third-party candidate, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., would peel away votes from Biden. But now it looks like he may attract votes from both presidential hopefuls. While not cited as a primary concern by most Americans, the United States' vulnerability to Russian and Chinese disinformation campaigns remains. The PRC's activity has grown increasingly sophisticated, and in addition to stoking divisions, is now targeting specific candidates. Our reliance on two separate media universes, one appealing to conservatives, the other to progressives, makes it difficult for Americans to agree on important issues, a reality that our adversaries exploit by spreading disinformation. Social media platforms have also found themselves at the center of recent election controversies over their algorithms, user bans, and removal of content. Elections matter, and the 2024 U.S. election matters more than any U.S. election in recent memory, and it'll be interesting to see how voter sentiment plays out in the results.